All right, here we go. We're live in 5, 4, 3, 2. May the wind rise up to meet you, Weekend Warriors. Welcome into episode number 53 of the Weekendology podcast. This is the only podcast with the hottest takes, the best talking points, and the stories to spark your weekend conversations. So for everything related to all the best topics from music, movies, sports, food, and more, we've got you covered. I'll be your host, Will Deichley, with the unbelievable, the unshakable Aaron Berg. What's up, Aaron?
Wow.
Yes.
That's a new one.
How'd you like that intro for you
so
today?
How, is that a British expression? The wind may rise up to meet you?
Yeah, may the wind rise up to meet you at your back. I think it's got some, British
I figured
or something to it. So.
Probably heard it watching soccer.
But, it's, you got to have some momentum going into the weekends and, some positivity. So
exactly.
That's the goal with
I love
this
when
podcast.
the wind rises up and just meets me or just it hits a spot.
It swirls up behind you, and then, you just, everything's, the world is at your feet, so.
And I mean, the wind can do that, and I still can't be shaking because I'm the unshakable Aaron Berg.
You are the unshakable Aaron Berg. Thanks, everybody, for returning to listen to our podcast, and if you're new to the show, welcome aboard. This show's all about changing, improving, and making things better as we cover all the best topics from around the pop culture and the sports world. Weekendology is brought to you by the Big Red World. Go check out some of their great podcasts like The House That Rick Built and Six Drunk, One Sober. You can find them on Twitter at Big Red Social, and their website is bigredworld.org. And for all the best updates from our latest episodes, our social handles, our blog posts, head on over to our webpage on the Big Red World's website to keep up with everything Weekendology related. And because everyone can't get enough of social media nowadays, Aaron, show your support to the show by following our social handles to keep up with all things music, movies, sports, video games, food, whatever it is that's happening in the world that's changing.
Got them all.
We've got you covered on the sanctuary of social media. Our main Twitter...
It's getting better now.
Yeah, getting better now. Our main Twitter is at Weekendology Pod. If you like things sports-related, go check out our sports handle at Weekendology Sports, WKNDOLOGY Sports. And to stay entertained, go check out Weekendology Entertainment Twitter page for episodes from everything from music and movies and, I don't know, TV shows and all that kind of stuff.
Food resides there, too.
Yes, foods and everything up there, too. At Weekendology, ENT. And if you don't use Twitter, go check out our Facebook page at Weekendology Podcast and make sure to rate, comment, I don't know, whatever it is to do. Rate 5 stars on Apple, Spotify.
Love, hate, whatever you're feeling.
Whatever you're feeling, hit that subscribe or follow button. It shows your support and knows that we're doing something good on this podcast, and that's all that matters. So
we just want to see the comments, good or bad.
We'll just love to see some comments and interaction, and
want to rise up the ranks. That's what we want to do.
May the wind be at your back, and hit that follow and subscribe button. Be inspired to do something crazy. So,
do you rate podcasts?
I do rate podcasts. Yeah, it does help actually. It does give them some good positive reviews, and
I try to.
The algorithm of whatever system you're on.
I try to, but I'm bad at it. I don't always remember, and they tell you to every time, just like we tell the loyal listeners. But
yes, but yeah, go rate, and comment, and
it's very easy too. I mean, that's the thing; they can't make it easier.
No, it takes literally 4 seconds. You just go and hit 5 stars, and you're done. So if you want to leave a review, you can. You're not obligated to, but
you should.
You should, yeah. Just say why we're the best, and
that doesn't take long.
Just go be on
very
your
minimal
own.
effort.
Yes, very minimal effort. But moving on to our pick of the week now, Aaron. Do you have your pick of the week set? Are you
it's set.
Ready to go? All right. What's your pick of the week?
The Queen's Gambit.
Oh,
on Netflix.
I have actually seen previews to the show. I've been thinking about watching it.
You should definitely watch it.
Is it good?
It's great. It's 7 episodes. Are you a chess guy at all?
I do like chess. I've not played in a number of years, but it seems pretty interesting. It's about the woman.
You've played, though, before,
I have
right?
played, yes.
See, I've never played in my life.
Really?
No idea. No one ever taught me.
We should
honestly,
get a chessboard. I'll teach you.
Yeah.
I'll teach
okay,
you.
so I was going to say that because watching the show, it's very, I mean, if you're into chess, you'll really like it, but it's a great show. It's amazing. You can make chess interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's only 7 episodes, but there's a lot of suspense, a lot of drama. It's about a girl who is an orphan. Yeah, and it's like in the 1950s. She's an orphan. Then it goes into the 60s, and
she's like the first, like the first woman to majorly compete, I guess, in a
be a
tournament.
champion. Yeah.
Wow.
So she rises the ranks and travels country, and then eventually travels the world, and rises up from being an orphan, and also struggles with different types of addiction. She's addicted to pills at a young age because they provide her pills. Yeah.
Have you watched the whole series then? Is it?
Yeah, it's only 7 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like just a one and done, or is there a second season?
I don't know. No one knows.
Oh,
so
no one knows.
We can get into that
mystery
in today's episode, but yeah, for now it's just one season. It just came out. So
okay.
Go check that out. It's entertaining, and it makes me want to learn chess now. So.
I will totally teach you chess. I'm not very good at it, but at least I know the basic rules and some strategies and stuff. So yeah, I haven't played.
This show makes it look super easy, but I know it's hard.
I played in the chess tournament like way back, and I played in 8th grade, and then I played in freshman year of high school, and I don't know, preceding tournaments.
Well,
and
that's
stuff.
what's interesting because in the show they show a lot of kids playing it.
Yeah.
But it definitely seems like it's an adult sport because there's so much strategy, and it's
yeah.
very much. It reminds me of like Wayne Gretzky when he talked about hockey, how he was so good because he always knew the next move coming. It wasn't what was happening now.
Oh yeah,
and that's in chess. You have to know like, okay, if I do this, what are they going to do? And then you have to think like that the entire game.
Yeah, you got to be knowing. You got to be anticipating what your opponents are doing and then thinking 2, 3, 4 steps ahead.
Right.
It's a very, very intense game, and
I'm amazed.
St. Louis has actually a pretty competitive chess scene.
Chess Hall of Fame is in St. Louis.
Yeah, the Chess Hall of Fame is in St. Louis, and there's.
Have you been?
I've not been, but there's actually a good couple number of places to go and play chess, and they have the boards and the stuff on the patios or on outside, and they have the timers and stuff too. And sometimes I'll just walk by, and there'll be people playing chess right there competitively in tournaments or chilling out and playing casually. So it is a pretty cool game. I have not played in a while, so
yeah,
you've inspired me to get a chessboard. Then I'll go ahead and grab a chessboard. I'll teach you how to play, Aaron.
Yeah,
teach you all the different techniques, and we'll just play with amongst ourselves. So
I mean, that's how the girl in the show started. She started playing with janitor and went up from there and became a champion.
Well, very nice then. Well, my pick of the week is also Netflix-based. It's a movie that I have not seen yet, but it's been on my list for so long.
You're picking something you haven't seen?
Well, I'm going to watch it tonight.
So it's in the queue.
No.
Queue of the week.
It is in the queue of the week, yes. It's the Snowden movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
That's good. I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
It came out a few years ago, and it's about Edward Snowden releasing all the government secrets.
Have you watched the real Snowden documentary?
I have watched the real Snowden documentary, and which is excellent.
Yeah,
so I'm really excited to see the movie based off of it.
That's a good order. I'm glad you're doing that because I did it the other way. And watching the Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie, I didn't totally understand what was going on, but no, I know like it.
I know everything that happens with the whole case and everything, but I want to see the movie, and it finally came on Netflix, so I was like, yes, queued up, and that's the entertainment for tonight. So
you'll enjoy
I'm
it.
gonna be watching that.
Actually, I have a T-shirt from my parents because they just moved to Maryland, and they sent me a high school, like their local high school T-shirt.
Really?
Looked up, what the school is about, who went there. Edward Snowden went there.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
What a small world.
Yep.
Where's he off to now? He's just like chilling in Europe
He's still in
Russia or something.
Well, I think they were talking about pardoning him, but they're still in talks about that, so I don't think he's back yet.
I think there's a huge ethical debate as to what he released was. Like, he's sworn under government secrecy to not do that kind of stuff.
But, espionage.
I mean, yeah. Some of the stuff that he released, though, was pretty controversial in terms of what the government was doing. So there's a big debate between the whole thing.
I think, like, they're loosening up now. Now they're kind of realizing, like, oh, what he did was kind of good in a way. Because he's kind of
it wasn't like
drawing the curtain back a little bit.
Deep. Oh, I mean, it was pretty deep, dark secrets that he released.
Right.
But,
well, it's where do you draw the line? That's the thing.
Very moral, ethical debate as to was it bad or was it okay to blow the whistle on something.
I also think I don't know. I don't. It was hard because watching both the movies, the Joseph Gordon-Levitt one and the documentary, it just made me question: like, are you really doing this for the good of humanity, or are you doing this for yourself? It just
15 minutes of fame weird. And everything, but
I don't know.
Interesting, but yeah, I'm excited to go
on it.
I'm excited to go watch the movie tonight on Netflix, and I'm very excited to watch Queen's Gambit as well.
Yeah,
that's been on my list for a couple days as well. So
you got a good queue going.
I've got my queue is full now. So, but we're continuing off of our theme of movies from that need sequels from last week's episode. If you haven't seen that or listened to that, go check it out. The link will be in the description below. But we're keeping over with that theme and switching over to TV shows this time. TV's kind of seen a renaissance of sorts with streaming and the different platforms, and I think hundreds of shows getting green lights and made each year. To the point where it's like, well, how many shows can they possibly release?
It's amazing
they
cancel shows anymore.
I know.
Because you could just put it on pick another streaming service and put it on there. Have it like an exclusive to that streaming service.
It is crazy how they can do that. And I mean, some of these shows we've talked about this before. Most of these shows only make it to 1 or 2 seasons and they get cut right away. But we thought we'd take a look back at some of the old classic shows and, come up with a list of TV shows that need revivals because we don't can't ever get away from it.
I mean, it's so easy to do. You can revive a show and it's only on Hulu now, or it's only on Tubi now, or any of these new.
Oh, Tubi,
they're pushing that hard.
They are. I've seen a lot of ads for that one.
Tony Gonzalez does not use Tubi. I'm going on record right now. There's no way he's watching Tubi in the studio.
Well, there was a bunch of celebrities and stuff who advocated for Quibi.
Oh, yeah,
the
that
10-minute short, and it launched in April or March of this year and totally fell flat.
What was it?
Shutting down.
I've
it was
heard
just
of it.
A streaming service that you could get 10-minute, 15-minute short shows or episodes on, but it had a ton of press from major
that's
celebrities.
all they do is just short?
Yeah, it was a short skits or shows or whatever it is. The episodes are like 10, 15 minutes.
But is it like Quibi Originals and that's it?
Yeah, Quibi Originals.
That's probably why, though, because you're not getting other shows.
No, but it totally failed, and they couldn't really keep it going, so it's shutting down now.
You know what they should have done? My later pick of the week, the Eric Andre show.
Oh, no.
Should have put that on there. That's like a 13-minute show.
Oh, man.
You could have taken short shows like that from other networks and used
I mean, maybe they had tried to do that, but they couldn't quite pull it off because they were brand new. But they ended up getting
if you're just
going to
do
originals and stuff.
If it's just originals, no one's going to watch that.
There's a lot of great star power on some of those shows. Like I think Reese Witherspoon did like a quick short show on that.
Okay, well, I'll watch that.
There was a lot of support for it. It just never took off.
Reese Witherspoon needs more credit. I'm gonna start.
I know you love Reese Witherspoon.
This segment
Aaron.
is called Reese Witherspoon, the greatest of our generation.
Okay.
She just I feel like people rip on her a lot, and I don't know why. And they want to put her in a box of like, oh, she's just.
I mean, I like
comedies.
Reese Witherspoon. She's a good actress.
She's in so many different types of shows, so many different types of movies. You ever see This Is War?
Yes, with who is that? Is it Gerard Butler?
It doesn't matter.
Gerard Butler?
Reese Witherspoon's the only person that matters.
All right.
No one else could pull that off.
All right. No, that's with Chris Pine, I think. This Is War.
Oh, you wish it was Chris Evans.
I wish it was Chris Evans. So, but yeah, we're talking about lots of TV today, and we're talking about the shows that need revivals and need to come back for continuations or extra seasons or whatever it is. So I've got my list, and Aaron's got his list, so we're going to run through them. If you listened to last week's episode, we talked about this show quite a bit in our pick of the week, but first show on my list that needs a revival is Frasier.
Hey,
Frasier.
Last week's pick of the week.
Yes, the Emmy-winning show with Kelsey Grammer, I think, deserves a revival just as much as Will and Grace did, or just as much as Roseanne did, which is now The Conners.
Oh, okay, so more of a spin-off.
No, so Roseanne did do a comeback, but she got fired for doing racist tweets and stuff. And so they rebranded the show.
In a very Roseanne way.
Yes, I think they killed her off or something, and now it's like The Conners or something.
Yeah. Where, what's his name? St. Louis guy. Fat guy that lost
John
weight.
Goodman?
Yeah, he's like the main guy.
Yeah, he's the main dude. So, but yeah, I'd love to see Frasier come back and kind of pick up where it left off or have continuation. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I love Frasier.
Did you think it ended on a good note in order for it to?
I've never seen the ending.
You've
that's
never seen
why it was
the
my
ending.
pick of the week, because I'm starting from episode 1 and just watching through.
Okay.
And so a lot of these sitcoms, this is what I've done. I've because they were on TV when I was a kid, I would just watch them randomly, and they show random episodes.
Right.
So I feel like you never, unless you were, back then an adult which it started in 1993 or 1994.
94, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and like you'd have to watch it every single night, so it was really hard to watch it in order and get the full storyline. So I feel like a lot of people haven't really watched these from start to finish.
Right.
So like, and that's how I watched How I Met Your Mother, where I would watch them randomly, and then when I'm like, you know what, there is a storyline to this. And Seinfeld's this way too. Even though Seinfeld and Frasier, I guess for that matter, they're loose storylines, whereas How I Met Your Mother actually has.
Yeah, you really have to watch How I Met Your Mother in order of everything. But
the other ones, they're funny. If you go from episode 1 and go through, you'll get the jokes. There's a lot of these like inside type jokes.
True.
But yeah, no, I'm not there yet. But there's like 11 seasons.
There's a lot of episodes, and I actually have not seen it from start to finish either. But I mean, I have seen the ending, so I won't give it away for you. Yeah. But Kelsey Grammer has hinted at doing like a reboot plot and everything, but it's never quite.
The dad's dead though, I think.
Yeah, so the guy who plays the Crane patriarch, so to speak, Martin, he passed away a couple years ago. So I don't know if they would pick up and
Eddie died too.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how they would do that, but I feel there's easily a way that they could pick it up and do it for one season or a special. Or
I think they could do a spinoff. They could do Frasier and Niles. And what's David Hyde Pierce up to these days?
Shoot, I don't think anything. So
he'd probably be.
What's the last thing he's been?
Amazed. Frasier.
He hasn't had a career since 2004.
He's definitely one of those guys. I feel like you'd be like watching some random thing on Netflix or something, and then you'd see him, and you're like, "Wait, that's Niles."
David Hyde Pierce is in this movie.
Seen him in a long time.
What's he doing in there?
But yeah, it would be cool to maybe they do like a practice together, and
that would be cool. Yeah,
I don't know, get Roz involved somehow, and Bulldog's my favorite character. I love Bulldog.
He's pretty funny. Yeah.
He's funny because that is sports radio guys. That's exactly how they act. They're just
that's very true.
So like crude.
If you know Aaron and I,
we
did a lot of sports broadcasting back in college, and it always reminded us or reminded me of our time back in doing sports commentary.
And so I interned, the very R.I.P. River City Rascals, the very esteemed minor league baseball team, and they had their radio guy. He was just like that. Like, he just roll in, like, just sitting there drinking, like, just didn't care. And it was like,
that's awesome.
He was like a frat star who was 45 years old. Like, he just never grew up.
That's wild.
And he'd keep like vodka in the fridge. And they was always like, talking about girls and blah blah. It's just funny, like, and so when I watch that show, it reminds me of him. That's Bulldog. He gets
that's awesome.
Unnecessarily mad about little things. It's great, but then they got to go on the air and act all like
professional and everything. And so I'd love to see Frasier come back. That'd be cool. Just do like I don't know, one season, one and done, or
it's just got to be different.
A Netflix special.
It's got to be. It's got to. I think it has to be a spinoff because if they just continued it, it would be. They've done it. They've done enough. Well,
here's another one on my list. You ever see the show Firefly?
No.
Okay, so it was a really, really popular show back in like the mid 2000s to like early 2010.
Yeah, I've heard it's on Fox, right?
Yeah. So the show explores the lives of a group of people who have fought on the losing side of a civil war, and it's kind of like a dystopian, futuristic sci-fi show. Nathan Fillion is in the show, who's a really, really great actor and a very undervalued actor, in my opinion. So they canceled the show after like 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, I don't even know who
and
that
it was
is.
Look him up. He's in a lot of great stuff too.
Nathan Fillion?
Yeah, Nathan Fillion. Great actor. But it kind of ended on a note that could have alluded to more seasons, and it's a really, really good show because it goes into a lot of ethical and moral visions on technology, on political, moral problems, on how, I guess, technology is used in the future. And it's a Joss Whedon show too, so if you like a lot of Joss Whedon stuff, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, then you'll like.
Never a fan.
You like the show, so
a little young for that.
I've seen a couple episodes.
I mean, I guess you could say I was a little young for Frasier.
Yeah,
too,
a little young for Frasier too. But Firefly could definitely benefit from a revival of sorts or a continuation.
This guy's in Halo.
He
Fun
is.
Fact.
Nathan Fillion does a lot of like voiceover work too for video games or different kinds of, I guess, animated shows as well. But yeah, Fillion's got some great stuff.
Oh, wow, he's in Saving Private Ryan.
He is, very randomly. There's a lot of random actors in Saving Private Ryan that you might not know, like Vin Diesel.
What?
Yeah, Vin Diesel's in it.
I haven't seen the movie in a while, but
man.
yeah, I mean...
Yeah, Vin Diesel's in it. He's in it for like half the movie. And then
I guess he'd be really young, though. So
he is very super young, yeah.
Wow. So that's why they don't call it Saving Vin Diesel.
No, they don't. No, he's the one who dies in the rain. He gets picked off by a sniper in one of the small French villages.
It's been so long, I'm not going to remember.
Okay, so I just saw the movie recently. So
oh, really?
But yeah, I figured that out. I was like, wow, that's Vin Diesel. I never would have guessed that he was in the movie.
He definitely, like, when he talks, you'd know who he is.
Yeah.
He's got a very distinct voice.
Let's see. What else we got on our list? You got what's one of yours, Aaron, that needs a comeback? Don't call it a comeback.
So I'll stick with the 90s sitcoms. First of all, I'm just going to say 90s sitcoms in general, just that genre needs to come back.
I agree. I'm all for it.
You watch sitcoms nowadays. I love Big Bang Theory. I know everyone hates that show, but I think it's great.
It outlived its funniness.
Yeah, well, that's why I had the opinion on Frasier, because I think you can't do these too long, but just the style of the 90s sitcom where it wasn't super serious, but I don't know how to describe it, because it's like it's not just pure stupidity. It could relate to real life.
Yeah.
But it's not super dramatic. It's got a good balance. I feel like that's why.
So do you have a particular show from the 90s, or just in general, just 90s sitcoms?
Well, so I think in general, 90s sitcoms, just that style. When they make sitcoms, they need to model it more after the 90s. And
now
stop.
Sitcoms are all focused on, like, you have sitcoms based on like coronavirus now.
Yeah, they try to get all
stuff,
political, and it's like, no, just do this.
And,
and so this is leading into my number one that needs to come back. It ended way too soon. Seinfeld.
Okay.
And Seinfeld is definitely one where it ended too soon, so it's not too much if they bring it back, because it ended right at the top.
It was only 7 seasons, you said, right?
Yeah, right. And all those actors and actresses are the main core group are around. I mean, Jerry's still A-list, and I know people.
I don't know about Kramer, but
yeah, well,
he had some.
It's
he had some things.
It's been 10 years,
a couple years ago. But,
we can move on. It's been like 10.
Has it been 10 years?
Yeah, that was like 2005.
Wow, time flies.
Yeah, poor Kramer, man. He's paid his
Jerry.
dues. Hey, Jerry.
Newman.
Man.
Yeah,
I feel like all these actors and actresses, like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she's still around.
Yeah, she's still pretty popular. She's got a great Netflix comedy special too.
Yeah.
She's been pretty popular.
So I feel like it'd be a good combination of you have people like that where they're still around, they're recognizable, and then you have these other people where it's like, oh, I haven't seen them in a while, and it's fun to see them back. But I think they could continue the show. The show didn't really have a true ending to it, so with that, I wouldn't even do a spinoff. I would just do.
Just pick it up where it left off.
Today.
Yeah.
And it'd be funny because it was very much based on, I don't know, like what was going on then,
Right.
Not politically, but
it was relevant to a
humorous
take
of the 90s.
Yeah.
So they could do a humorous take of the 2020s.
Any show I feel like that didn't really have a solid conclusion, where I mean, some shows they're going to end after 5 seasons or 3 seasons or whatever. Like the writers start from the beginning and say, okay, this is X number of seasons, we wrap it up then.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of shows go from year to year, and like sitcoms do, unless it's How I Met Your Mother or a very overarching plot driven show. But even then, they didn't know that they were going to make it past 1 season, so they kind of had to write in an ending.
Yeah, you could kind of see that they were taking Ted towards a certain way.
But a lot of
and
shows
like,
ride
this
from
is going further.
Yeah, from year to year, and then the network's like, okay, we're going to renew you, and they're like, cool, we're going to keep continuing the story. And that's why I think a lot of shows run out of ideas, because they don't know when they're going to end or keep going, and so they just kind of write jokes and hope.
Well, and I think
for the
once
best.
they start adding too many characters, that's when You're
Yeah.
like, all right, it's done. Like especially too many characters into the core group.
I agree,
but no, I think Seinfeld it was perfect when it ended, and I'm fine that it ended. I don't think they could have done another season because then it would have gotten old. But I think now you can bring it back because those actors are still relevant, and because TV needs it. We need that style of sitcom, and I think it'd be a good place to
I think
start.
that'd be cool. I'm all for the 90s sitcom genre of like shows written in that style.
I just
to
loved
kind of come back.
80s and
do that.
90s. Just
Yeah, those are the best. Cheers was back then.
Yeah.
I mean, this was before our time, obviously.
I liked that too because Cheers, you could take characters, well, like Frasier. Frasier's a spinoff of Cheers.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's cool. You could take one character and do a whole different show because the storylines are deep enough. I like that. And I think they need to do that with characters in sitcoms now, is give them a little deeper storylines so you could do more with it.
Yeah. Here's another show I got. You ever seen the show Hannibal with Mads Mikkelsen?
No.
No?
Is that like the movie? Like based on the movie?
Yeah, so it's like it's Hannibal Lecter, but it's a TV show with him, and he's portrayed in a obviously he's very sinister, but he's like a world-class chef and everything, and all his dishes though are with people and everything, but it's done in a really, really creative way.
He's feeding people humans?
Yes.
And they think it's world-class food.
They think it's like, oh, wow, this
really
is such
gross.
a great, dish and everything. And he's actually a really good chef with not, with real food.
Is the TV show like a prequel type thing? Because how in the movie Hannibal, Anthony Hopkins is old.
Yeah, it is kind of like a prequel thing. And
it's like young Hannibal.
Yeah.
It's like young Sheldon.
I guess, yeah, to a certain way. I don't know if... maybe they're kind of similar. They're both very odd.
There you go.
In the way, but it only lasted for 3 seasons, and it kind of left it open ended at the end of it for him to come back. And same thing with Dexter too. Dexter is actually getting a revival.
Yeah, well, because everyone hated the ending.
Well, the ending was so bad that it literally made no sense.
You know what? We're just gonna redo this because everyone hated it.
Well, the ending was like 6-7 years ago or something, and so they're bringing it back. So I don't know how they're gonna do Dexter again because I don't know. They shot themselves in the foot with it. But
are they bringing back the original actor?
Yeah, all the original actors are coming back for.
I didn't know if they were
Dexter.
just gonna do like a Spider-Man, just say like, "Oh, we're gonna redo this."
No, it's not a reboot. It's an actual revival of the show, like continuation.
I think that's good.
I don't know if they're gonna pick up right at the end of where they ended the last show.
It's just tough though because like people, I didn't watch that show either, but like I know about it. Obviously, it was huge, and people loved that show. So that's tough.
Dexter was really good too.
Right, and people are so passionate about it. And I feel like when you reboot these shows, it's especially a show like that, it's really hard to get back to that level. I mean, it's like a sequel. They're not going to like it as much, and I feel like there's so much room for error where people are going to be like, "Nope, this sucks." Just stick with the first version of it.
It was one of those shows that went on too long, and it suffered in the last 2 seasons, I think.
Yeah. See, then at that point, do like a spinoff show, but don't. I just think they need to be careful on how they line up the storylines.
I agreed, yeah. But, Dexter and Hannibal were kind of on my list of shows that... Well, Dexter is getting a revival, but Hannibal could easily come back and do another season and wrap it up truly. Because I like
it's only been 3 seasons.
It was only 3 seasons, so it's not like there was... It went on for, 7 seasons, and people were tired of it. But I got another show, too. You ever watch Legends of the Hidden Temple? Back on, man.
You watch a lot of TV.
You never saw Legend of the Hidden Temple?
I'll be honest. I don't watch a ton of TV shows, like shows.
So this was
network TV shows. I don't watch those.
This was a '90s Nickelodeon show. It was a game show, and you had kids competing in obstacle courses and stuff throughout the set, and you had to find certain treasures and unlock certain puzzles, and then the fastest time for that team.
I don't remember that at all.
Competed and won like a cash prize or something.
I remember the Nickelodeon game shows. I did watch those.
Yeah, because like Double Dare got a revival not too long ago.
I remember that.
And with all the slime and stuff.
Remember Dave Azer?
Yeah, Dave.
What do you
the
think
man
Dave's
who was
doing?
Scared of germs and couldn't. I don't know how he did that show because he was such a
Slime Time
germaphobe.
Live?
Yeah, he had to I remember reading an article about him, and he had to have Purell and plastic
He's like
gloves.
Howie
and,
Mandel.
I guess, yeah.
It's a game show host. You don't need to touch anything.
No, that's true. But he got slimed a bunch of times. But yeah, Legends of the Hidden Temple was so much fun, and
when was that? Like the mid '90s,
93
all that era.
Yeah, 93 through 95. And it has tons of repeats and stuff.
That's before Kenan Thompson.
It is, yeah.
That's really when did you watch this?
Back when I was a kid, I don't know, they did repeats and stuff from, I don't know, up until the mid 2000s, and it was always on Nick at Night or Nickelodeon or I don't know, Teen Nick or something.
I want to watch the reruns because there's probably some just 90s gold in there.
Oh, there is.
93 to 95. There's some, there's some mullets in there, and there's some purple and teal and big pants.
The ending, there always did I don't know. I can't remember if it was this show or if it was a different game show in the 90s on Nick, but there was the crag where they had to scale up the side of a mountain and fastest
time. A lot
time.
of kids game shows back
there
then.
was a ton of them back there.
Because I'm picturing one. I don't think it was that one, but
I mean, if
Nick Gass wasn't that?
Yeah, I think so. And if you have shows like now that are on Netflix, like The Floor is Lava. Ever seen that dumb show? Yeah, that is one of the dumbest shows of all time. But if you can have dumb game shows like that, you can bring back some of the classics.
Apparently, people love game shows. I mean, they do. The Masked Singer apparently does so. I don't know how people like that show.
I mean, there's tons of those shows. So
I do like The Wall.
Yeah,
that's a good show. That's on now. LeBron is producing it, of course, because he's got a
Ninja Warrior.
I like that show, but that's going on too long. We've seen it. We get it.
What is it? There's Dodgeball as well, like a competitive dodgeball game.
No one makes me
game show. But yeah, easily bring some of those back. All right, what else we got? You got anything else on your list?
Yeah, The Night of.
I've never seen that show.
It's on HBO.
No. What's it about?
That only got one season. It was really short. I mean, maybe 8 episodes. It's about a kid who it's been a couple years since I've seen it, so I hope I'm not getting the plot wrong, but I believe he witnesses a murder.
Okay.
And then they are trying him for the murder, that he did it.
Sounds like...
So he's a college student.
Okay.
But it's a very creative... I've never watched a show that's really like it. It didn't really remind me of anything. It's very its own show.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed rushed. Not in a bad way. I mean, just they could have done 3 seasons of it, and they just did it in 8 episodes, and that was it.
So it was just maybe it was just a one and done.
Yeah, it was, and I think it was meant to be.
Okay.
But people loved it. But it was I feel like it was still under the radar because it was HBO, so not everyone got to see it, but also it was so quick. So it came out, and that was it. You watch the 8 episodes, and it's done. But a lot of good actors in it. Good.
Who's in
drama. I'm gonna have to look this up. I want to say Christopher Walken was in it.
Christopher Walken.
It came. Yeah.
The most impossible voice to do, the mimic.
But everyone thinks they can do it.
Yeah. Christopher Walken. I can't do it.
That was pretty good.
No.
Yeah. So it came out in 2016. Oh, actually, okay, so I was wrong. This says, based on the BBC series Criminal Justice.
Oh.
I've never seen that, so...
I've never seen it either.
They fooled me into thinking it was original.
A lot of weird British shows out there, so...
John Turturro.
John Turturro's in it? Oh, nice.
I
think I might need to watch this show now.
It's really good. Yeah. So, a night that begins innocently for a Pakistani-American college student, Naz Khan turns horrific after he meets a mysterious young woman. In custody and awaiting his former arraignment, Naz realizes that his survival, or perhaps his demise, rests with his attorney, John Stone. Both are particular inmate at Rikers Island.
Oh, Rikers, too.
Yeah, it's...
Well, it sounds like a very interesting show, then, so...
So maybe I was wrong. Maybe... I thought Christopher Walken was in this, but it's been a couple years since I've seen it, but it's really good. It's very, very dramatic, very... If you like cliffhangers, you'll love the show, because it always... And it's an hour-long show, but you're watching it, and it'll just end. You're like, you can't end it there.
I know, those are the best shows.
And that's why it goes so quick, because it's like Breaking Bad. You have to watch the next episode.
Sounds similar to Defending Jacob on Apple. That was a show that was... I binge-watched all 8 episodes in 2 days. But it was so good, and it's very similar to that, where the kid is involved in a murder investigation, and plots become... more intricate.
When you don't really get the full story, so as you watch the show, you get more and more of it.
And the show ends on a massive cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And you're like, how can you end the show like that? And then,
right.
But they're not planning on making a second season, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Easily could pick up and keep going on with the story and their characters.
And especially these short seasons. I just think at least do 2 seasons.
Yeah.
You can't do one and done, especially shows like that where I'm going to watch it really quick because I got to see the next episode.
The people demand... more, Aaron.
I mean,
we got to give the people what they want.
Especially if the actors are good and like that kid, like that actor that plays the main guy. Like, I mean, I'm sure he's in other things, but he needs to be in more mainstream stuff. So keep the show going.
Yeah, give him some more chances.
Exactly.
If all these other terrible streaming shows can get green lights and stuff, then keep the good shows going.
I just remember watching it, and I like it too because you're almost like in his head. Like, you don't really know what's going on, and he doesn't know what's going on. So it's kind of like a first person type thing.
Well, I've got another show that's kind of a throwback to the 90s again. Family Matters needs a revival.
Yeah.
I mean, if freaking Fuller House can come back into more
That's
episodes,
very true.
and Boy Meets World can turn into Girl Meets World.
Tradition. Na, 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 na.
I would love to see Family Matters.
Speaking of Full
back.
House, the guy who did the song for Full House did Family Matters.
Oh, there you go.
Killing it in the 90s.
So, yeah. Everyone, it was just like Danny Elfman or whatever, just did all the music scores for all the big movies in the mid 2000s and stuff. But yeah, just have Urkel come back. He could be married, have little mini Urkels running around, and be like, "Oh, wow, did I do that?" and everything.
I mean, Jaleel White is looking for work.
I mean, yeah. What's he been up to the last few years?
I feel like he's
Probably
another
nothing.
person where he'll just like pop in like a commercial, or they'll have him on a game show. Like something stupid like that. It'd be like, oh, we got Jaleel White from Urkel, because that's all you know him from.
I randomly saw Alfonso Ribeiro, because he does America's Funniest Videos now, and he was on
I like him on that show.
He was funny, but he was randomly like a guest on like a morning news show or something. I was like, is that Carlton? Like, what's he been up to lately? Oh yeah, he hosts America's Funniest Videos. He does look good. Yeah.
Okay, they could do. Speaking of '90s spinoffs. I think we talked about this last episode, but they could do a Fresh Prince and throw him in there. He looks exactly the same. Like, it's amazing how well he's aged.
So Fresh Prince was also on my list to get a revival as well.
Didn't we talk about that?
We did a little while ago, but I learned that Fresh Prince actually did a reunion show. They taped a reunion show back in September of this year.
Oh.
And they're planning on releasing it this upcoming Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice.
So all the characters are coming back, not for a scripted show, but it's a very unscripted
like talking about the show.
Yeah, they're just talking
sharing
about
memories.
Yeah, regaling some of the best moments from the Fresh Prince. But I'd love to
Will
see
Smith acting like a big shot, and then everyone else on the show being like, "Oh, God,
I mean, the dude,
we're still living off our Fresh Prince money."
Will Smith's the Empire State Building, and everyone else is
Will Smith could give back everything he's made from Fresh Prince and still be
a billionaire.
Yeah, just more rich than all those other people, whereas all those other people need that Fresh Prince money.
Yeah, he's a mega star, but
crazy.
Sadly, James Avery, Uncle Phil, won't be there. He passed away a couple years ago. He passed away 6 years ago.
Wow,
back in 2014, which is crazy to think. Like,
yeah,
it's been that long. But I'd love to see a show pick up with Will Smith. Like, he's married, he's got kids, and his son is kind of, I don't know.
He still kind of acts like that. That's
Jaden Smith, I think is his name.
No, we don't need any more Jaden Smith. We've had enough Jaden Smith.
No,
no,
didn't like him in the Karate Kid reboot.
I'm good on Jaden Smith. We've had enough.
Well, I'd like to see them pick up and have the characters continue. And
he can be done filming his thing with Shia LaBeouf now. They're doing the live stream. For 4 years.
That's right.
Since Trump got elected, they were going to live stream every single day and every single hour. So, hey, he's done. Woo!
Have they been keeping that up?
No, of course not. They ended it after like a week. That's not possible.
Anything's possible.
When they said they were going to do that, I'm like, okay, so what are you guys going to do? Like, not make any money? Like, you're going to sit there and
just
no one's going to donate to that stream and watch you guys talk nonsense.
I mean, I'm kind of done with Shia LaBeouf, so he's
and then you get the two of them together. Oh man,
Will Smith is fine. Like, he can stay around forever.
But Will Smith's cool. It's just like, dude, what's wrong with your kids, man?
Fresh Prince, Family Matters. What about Home Improvement? What about bring Tim Allen back?
Well, so Tim Allen, I like Tim Allen.
He's fun.
He's also a good follow on Twitter. I follow him.
Is he? I don't follow him on Twitter.
I started following him yesterday. He's really funny.
Is he?
Surprising, yeah. But
bring back Home Improvement.
No, Home Improvement though, that went too long. That was another one where like his kids got old and they started doing like weird things with the with the script and with the plot. It was a classic, okay, the show went on way too long, we'll just end it.
I mean, if ABC can bring back Roseanne and then turn it into a completely different show without Roseanne.
Yeah, to me, you ever watch Last Man Standing?
Yeah, it's a good show.
I feel like that's
that one's
kind
going
of
strong.
like Home Improvement. That's kind of like his
it is
kind of
I guess,
sequel,
in
I
a
guess.
way.
You
So
know?
I guess if that show's going to continue,
I want more Tim Allen though. I think he's hilarious.
I like Tim Allen. I think he's really funny, and he's just like I
wouldn't
funny
mind
guy to watch.
if they do bring back Home Improvement. I wouldn't mind Pamela Anderson coming back.
Oh yes, what's she been up to lately?
She's just probably shouting about PETA and I don't know. She
You know,
kind of went a little nutty. So
no.
yeah, I mean,
that happens, I guess.
we can still watch Baywatch and Home Improvement and remember the good times.
You ever see the remake of Baywatch with The Rock and
Zac Efron? Oh, boy,
Yeah.
no, I haven't, but I wanted to. It's definitely one of those movies where I'm nervous because I feel like it's going to be really bad, and I don't want to waste my time. But I don't know. I see it. I keep seeing it on like Amazon or just all these other streaming services, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I should watch this just for fun.
Yeah, it's a fun dumb movie. So
Okay,
it's not good, but it's
not. It's not like this is really stupid. Like it's
no, it's not.
You know it's going to be stupid.
Yeah, know it's going to be dumb.
They're almost like making fun of it, right?
Kind of, yeah. There's a satirical element to it. So
is The Rock like David Hasselhoff, or who's he?
Kind of, yeah.
I'm assuming they have different characters, though, right?
I think they have different characters. I don't know. I haven't really like watched the whole thing all the way through.
Did you? You turned it off, didn't you?
I kind of watched bits and pieces.
It's like a Hubie Halloween situation where you turn it off and then you watch it again. You're like,
the parts that I watched were not terrible, but I knew like what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
So I was
I don't mind those movies if it's like, hey, this is supposed to be almost like a parody.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be stupid. I mean, come on, no Rock movie. I'm not gonna watch a Rock movie and think, or Zac Efron for that matter, in a movie like that.
Yeah, they're not winning Academy Awards for it.
It's like Bad Grandpa. Did you ever see that?
Yes.
That's a great movie, though, because you watch it and you're like, I know this is going to be stupid, so I'm not expecting anything. But if you're just going with that attitude, you're like, you know what? It's a fine movie.
You might as well. I've got some controversial ones here for you. What about Friday Night Lights getting a comeback? You ever see that show?
Yeah, they did it.
Did they like a full like revival? I'm talking about like a full revival. I don't think they did a full revival with it.
No, I'm not on board with that one either.
No?
That is very controversial because, first of all, here's the thing. I like the book a lot, and the movie is all right. I'm weird, and I'm like the only one that thinks the book is better than the movie. But
nah, it's not that weird.
I don't. Well, people love the movie, and I just thought the movie was okay. But Tim McGraw's in it, though, which is kind of funny. But the show, I don't know. I just thought the show was weird. Like, we don't need to make the show and call it Friday Night Lights. And it was so loosely based off the movie. They needed to either pick a side. Either do the show after the movie and just say, hey, this is the TV show version of the movie.
Right.
Or just do a completely different show about high school football in Texas. But they did it so loosely based off it where it wasn't the same. I feel like the plot was trying to be like the movie, but like it was a different high school and different characters, and I don't know. I didn't like it. And
I thought it was a great show.
Friday Night Lights.
The second season was pretty bad, in my opinion, but
yeah,
the rest of the seasons were good though. So
that's definitely a show I think they should just redo. But
I don't know if you can redo that show.
Don't call it Friday Night Lights. I think that's my sticking point.
Saturday Night Lights.
Yeah. Like me, the Saturday morning superstar.
Yeah, Monday Night Lights or something.
I just think like I didn't like how they took that title. Like that's a movie. Like that's a whole storyline already. That's a true story already. Like we don't need to mess with that.
Well, here's another one. You ever see Lost?
I watched the first episode and I wasn't into it.
Everybody watches the first episode and they don't like it after that.
Yeah, and it's a pilot, so you should keep watching.
I don't know why, because Lost is one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and it's
another show where people didn't like the ending.
That's because people didn't understand the ending, but it's actually fairly straightforward if you like actually watch the show.
You sound like Roger Ebert. It's a good movie. You just didn't understand.
You just didn't understand it. No, it's true, and there's so much history, and there's a huge time gap in between some things too that they could bring it back and do a spin-off for other characters, or
were
go
you
in
that
more in
guy that
depth,
watched
or...
the movie Inception and everyone's like, what was that about? And you were like, oh, you see, I have an explanation for it.
I had to watch that movie a couple times before I had to understand it, but I did understand like the whole time compounding effect and everything, and
But
the
is
dream
Lost
sequences.
that
And
hard to follow?
it does get fairly confusing, like in seasons 3, 4, and 5. So you really gotta like, you can't just have it on in the background. You gotta watch it.
Yeah.
But it's such a gripping show, and every episode for me was just cliffhanger. Mystery after mystery after mystery. It's only 6 seasons. It's not that.
That's a good amount of time, and they were. I don't know how it ends, but
do
they get off the island?
I won't spoil it for you, because if you ever do watch it, because it is worth the watch through. They could keep going with it, and but it is because they kind of wrapped it up in the end, so that's why it's controversial as to like, what else could they do with it. It'd have to be in the middle between like before the show and like the last season, and
They'd have to like change parts of the plot.
Kind of, yeah.
I think shows, to me, here's my rule of thumb. If it's, I'll say 5 seasons. If it's 5 or more and you have a clear ending, you're good. Just leave it as is. It's kind of like what we were talking about with movies that don't need sequels. If it wraps it up, don't ruin a good thing. Yeah. But if it's a cliffhanger, if it's like, well, what happened? Like, we don't know. Kind of like Breaking Bad, like they ended it kind of, but and then they started doing spin-offs, and I thought that was great because people wanted more. So if it's these shows where we want more and it didn't completely end, then keep it going. But if it completely ends and you got 5, 6, 7 seasons of it, like
Breaking Bad was one of those shows where they knew it was going to be like a 5-season run. Like they didn't need to go past that. They told Walter's story. They told everybody else's story.
I thought that was a perfect.
It was perfect.
Yeah,
5 seasons is pretty much perfect for any TV show. Maybe 6, depending. Yeah, but yeah, they knew they were going into that. But that universe is very, very large too, because the characters are so compelling as well, like you said. So
yeah, then you can do spin-offs.
Yeah, then you do spin-offs.
And that's what I think needs to happen, is looking at those things and thinking, okay, when are we doing a spin-off, and when are we doing a complete like reboot, and then when are we doing a complete
revival
sequel?
Yeah. Last show on my list, controversial to end it here, Friends getting a revival.
No.
Have Friends come back.
Terrible
continuation.
Show. Awful sitcom.
You didn't like it?
Funny at all.
I thought it was overrated. It was so funny.
Show on TV. Nope. My mom loves Friends. I've watched plenty of episodes. I never laughed once.
Never laughed, not even once.
Nope, never even smiled.
Never.
Don't find it
I don't
funny.
believe you.
Nope. All the characters are annoying.
Not even.
The only good part is Jennifer Aniston in it, but and she bugs me too because she's living off of her friend's legacy, but she tries to act like she's an A-list actress.
I like Jennifer Aniston. I think she's good.
She's no Reese Witherspoon.
No, I mean,
Reese Witherspoon is underrated.
No Joey Molinari. No Ross. No, nobody else.
Joey, is that an alternate character? Is
this
a
what's
Friends
his last
reboot?
name? Joey. What's his last name? I can't remember. Wasn't it Joey Molinari?
That's a good one though. Hey, I'm Joey Molinari. No, it's
something Italian like that. Or
what's his name?
I can't remember now. See, we're terrible.
Chandler Bing.
Oh yeah,
Ross
Chandler.
Geller.
Ross.
I don't remember Monica's full name. Phoebe.
Monica Lewinsky.
What is Joey's
I'm pretty sure it's
name?
Joey Molinari.
No, it's not.
All right, I'm going to look it up here. Joey.
It's Italian, but...
Maybe it's not Joey Molinari.
He did that... They did a spinoff, though. They did a show called Joey. Remember?
Yeah, and that tanks terribly.
Well, because everything Matt LeBlanc does tanks.
Joey Tribbiani.
Tribbiani,
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, well, that was close. Kind of Italian, but...
It's just, I don't know. I just found the characters they were all really annoying. The jokes are so, lowbrow and just...
Well, I had to throw it in there for my controversial picks.
It is very controversial.
Everyone loves Friends. It's got a huge following. And
I feel like people like Friends because it's like our generation now. It's getting kind of a revival because they're like, oh, it's so relatable. Because I'm in my 20s and, I go hang out at the coffee shop with my friends too. Talk about sex all the time. It's just stupid. I'm not a fan.
All right. Well, there we go.
And that here's the deal too. It's a 90s sitcom. And it went, again, way too long. But it's not
like 10 seasons or something.
Yeah, it ended in 2004, I think. Yeah. I think 2004 they were like, all right, we're done with the 90s. We got to move on.
We got to finish this.
We're in the 2000s now. Why are we still hanging on to these like 90s shows? But it's not like a Frasier or a Seinfeld or a Family Matters. Like those are very much 90s shows. I don't know. Just Friends just wasn't good.
Yeah,
just poor effort.
That's why it's on the controversial list then. So, but those are all.
My mom actually did go to college with the lady who married the guy who was in the Rembrandts, who sings the theme song.
That is a 6 degrees of separation if I've ever heard one. But
well, she was like friends with her in college, and that lady is
cool.
Filthy rich.
Wow,
because
jealous.
Her husband made one song, and there you go.
I'll be there for you
when the rain starts to fall.
Oh man,
go check out the Rembrandts.
Well, if you like what we talk about in this episode, we want to continue the conversation afterwards. Hit us up on Twitter, YouTube, and all of our social medias, so let us know what your thoughts are as well. What TV shows desperately need a revival, and did your favorite shows make our list? Share with us your thoughts on our social handles, or email us as well to keep up to date. Let us know what TV shows need a revival. Do you agree with our list? Do you disagree? Show us your thoughts.
Give us your friends' hate.
Give us your friends' hate. Do you agree with some of the stuff? Check us out on Twitter at Weekendology Pod. Our entertainment handle is at Weekendology ENT. Our sports handle is at Weekendology Sports. Check us out on YouTube at Weekendology Podcast, as well as Facebook. We're on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Did I miss anything, Aaron?
Probably.
Probably.
We're on a lot. We're everywhere.
Podomatic.
All you Podomatic fans
out there. Be sure to check out the Big Red World as well. They're up on Big Red Social, and their website is bigredworld.org. And check out our last episode where we talk about movies that need sequels. We're continuing a theme of entertainment over the next few weeks as well. So we've got lots of great episodes planned for you.
Weekendology Ent will be popping.
Yes, at Weekendology Ent, where the trees and stuff that walk through the forest and
never get through an episode without that.
Nope, can't ever get through that. So anything else before we close it off here, Aaron?
I need to go watch some. Oh, by the way, I haven't watched Broken Glass with Hayden Christensen. So
yes,
I need to watch that.
Hayden Christensen's only other movie besides the Star Wars prequels. I did watch some of the other suggested shows though. So definitely good. Go check out our picks of the week.
I'm working down the list.
Yeah, we've got Snowden on our pick of the week, as well as Queen's Gambit, both on Netflix, both in the top 10 trending. So.
Oh, and did you have the Chicago 7 movie as your pick of the week?
I did, yes. Trial of the Chicago 7.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say, Sacha Baron Cohen, step your game up with your accent, man. You can tell you're British in that movie. That's a poor accent.
I thought he did a really great job in that movie, though.
The accent was slipping, though. It's like Adam Sandler movie when he does the stupid voice.
And it's like Halloween voice.
Yeah, or every movie. And then, like, you watch Billy Madison.
Yes.
He'll do the no Billy Madison voice. But then he'll start talking normal all of a sudden. It's like, wait a minute. What's your voice here? That's what it reminded me of when I watched that movie.
Trial of the Chicago 7 was
a good movie. Joseph Gordon-Levitt again.
He is, yes.
But, I don't know, man. It was just like, why? They tried to give him a Boston accent, I feel like.
Yeah, it kind of was. It was a little bit overdone, but
it wasn't.
The whole movie itself was pretty good. So check it out.
The accent was bad. That's all.
Check out our picks of the week as well. Check us out on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on YouTube. We're on Amazon Music as well. We've got new episodes every Friday. Thanks for tuning in this week. Until next time, enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you guys then.